Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to the one and only Divergent Vibe YouTube channel. In this video, I will talking about all of Ghoul Slugs in Slugterra. First of all, the Ghoul Slug are corrupted slug that have been ghouled by the villains in Slugterra using dark energy or dark water, which causing them insanely wild and possess destructive tendencies. But more importantly, the Ghoul Slugs are more powerful than regular slugs in any aspects, such as enhanced brute strength, tougher physical defense, and stronger magic attributes, while some of them have effects that are completely opposite from their original counterparts. For example, a healer slug with the healing power turn into a poison ghoul that giving sickness to the other living beings. And even the other Ghoul Slugs could gaining new additional abilities which they're not supposed to have, because all of these things happen due to the dark energy's corruption. Without any further ado, let's watching this video until the end. Before that, please subscribe to Divergent Vibe channel and turn on the notification. Don't forget to like and share. Number 1. The Gundark Ghoul. The Gundark Ghoul are extremely rare and powerful poison ghoul in Slugterra that possess ability to ghouling or turning the regular slugs into ghouls by emitting its dark energy upon contact, or it can shooting dark energy arcs from a long distance. And these moves are very useful for its slinger because they can getting new ammo easily from their opponents. But the worst cases is that the Gundark Ghoul can worsen a person's internal ailments, especially when it using its reverse healing superpower, where this poison ghoul attacking an opponent with its dark energy that can drain their health for a short period of time. And for your additional information, the Gundark Slug was the original version of the Gundark Ghoul. Moreover, the Gundark Ghoul has an eerie way of getting into someone's head, where this poison ghoul hitting an opposing slug slinger to drop them into a temporary coma, while it using its dark energy brainwash to take over their mind as well as their body for its own purposes. And these effects will give the person a zombie-like appearance until they're no longer needed. Number 2. The DARKFURNUS Ghoul. The DARKFURNUS Ghoul are the most powerful fire ghoul that can burn anything in an instant with its dark pyrokinesis superpower, as this extremely rare fire ghoul capable of unleashing molten flames that reach melting temperature, similar to its counterpart which is known as the Infernus Slug, except that the Darkfurnuss Ghoul having green color flame, which be a huge difference between both versions. But on top of that, the Darkfurnuss overall abilities became significantly stronger since it already powerful enough in its normal slug form, and due to its very special rarity as well. Then plus with the dark energy's corruption, making it more dangerous and more powerful, where it can easily taking down any opponents or any regular slugs in battle. Even the Darkfurnuss Ghoul also able to destroy large objects with ease using its flames or by its enhanced physical strength. Number 3. The Grimstone Ghoul. The Grimstone Ghoul are the ghoul version of the Ramstone Slug, where both of them possess similar abilities, but the Grimstone Ghouls are definitely more powerful, even they are more aggressive than before. And when they're transforming into their Velocimos state, the Grimstone Ghouls are twice the size of normal Ramstone slugs, while their body also more muscular, making them a lot tougher to sustaining attacks that launch by opposing slug toward them. And this ferocious ghoul can be used by its master to destroying any obstacles, since they're capable of smashing through almost anything with their rocky fists. And moreover, the Grimstone Ghoul can easily dominating the other normal slugs in close combat by only using its incredible physical strength that have been enhanced by the dark energy. Number 4. The Tempesto Ghoul. The Tempesto Ghoul are the first ghoul slug introduced in the show, and this tornado ghoul also possesses incredible aerokinesis superpower compared to its counterpart, aka the Tornado Slug. But the most important thing, the Tempesto Ghoul are one of Ghoul Slugs that successfully gained a new additional ability due to the dark energy's corruption, where they able to create a black hole-like portal by forming a rampaging tornado, which can causing anyone get sucked into the huge twister. Then they will disappear instantly into the deep caverns. And moreover, the Tempesto Ghoul also can creating a powerful darkly gale force wind with longer lasting effect that can be used to taking down multiple slugs in a single attack. Even one Tempesto Ghoul can easily dominating 2 Infernus slugs at once, which prove how strong they are. Number 5. The Frostfang Ghoul. The The Frostfang ghouls are mostly known for their dark cryokinesis superpower, which is an ability that allows them to generate flash-freezing ice from their mouth. But on top of that, these freezer ghouls are very versatile, which can be used in both offensive and defensive combats, as the Frostfang Ghoul can freeze multiple slugs or opponents instantly by blowing a concentrated beam of ice onto them at once, leaving any targets in frozen state. And they're also capable of creating a gigantic defensive wall of ice in an instant that's very useful for protection. Even it can be used by the Ghoul Slinger to rebound any incoming slugs by creating a curved and slippery icy wall, while the original counterpart of the Frostfang Ghoul is called the Frostcrawler Slug. Number 6. The Thrasher Ghoul. The Thrasher Ghoul are one of the most dangerous ghouls because they possess incredible cutting strength, especially in their velocimos state, as these cutter ghouls will gaining ferociously powerful razor-sharp spikes on their back all the way to the tail, similar to their counterpart, which allowing them to be able to cutting through almost anything by curls up their body into a flat circle, then spin themselves at high speeds to forming a spinning saw blade that making them so scary. Even the Thrasher Ghoul, capable of decapitating the other normal slugs in an instant upon direct impact, and they also will continuously cutting everything on their path as long as they can keep savagely spinning, while the Thrasher Slug are the original form of the Thrasher Ghoul. Number 7. The BRIARDRILL Ghoul. The BRIARDRILL Ghoul are the ghoul version of the Vine-Drill Slug, and these Vine Ghouls possess the dark version of Fluorokinesis superpower, which is an ability that allows them to generate ghoul-like plants or vines from their own tendrils as they hit the ground under the opponents, and then thorny vines will grow in an instant that can be used to painfully binding multiple opponents at once. Even it can cut whoever tries to go through. And the BRIARDRILL Ghoul also has a long-range attack where they're able to shoot pouches of toxic powder from its tentacles that very effective to blinding any normal slugs. But if the opposing slug slinger got hit by this toxic powder, they will get longer lasting itchiness effect all over their body, and the more they scratch, the more itchy it gets. Number 8. The Nightgeist Ghoul. The Nightgeist Ghoul, a fearsome creature in Slugterra, since they can turn enemy into a coward by creating an uncontrollable fright response inside their mind, causing them to see visions of horrifying things that making the target runs from almost anything until the effect wear off, while their psychokinesis attack has a longer lasting effect than its regular counterpart, which is known as the Frightgeist Slug. And on top of that, these fright ghouls are very powerful because they not just can hit people, but the Nightgeist Ghoul also able to hitting certain creatures that are incorporeal. Even it can giving fright effects on them, causing the scary spectral creatures terrified and runs from something they're not supposed to be afraid, like a coward. Number 9. The AMPERLING Ghoul. The AMPERLING Ghoul are one of the most dangerous and powerful combat ghoul in Slugterra, since they possess the dark version of electric superpower that made them capable of producing electricity out of their own body. And it also allows the AMPERLING Ghoul to zap the opponents with darkly electric arcs. Even these zapper ghouls can shoot a black lightning strike with highly voltage from their mouth that can be used to electrocute any opposing slugs or to shocking the opponents at a distance, as well as in the point blank, similar to its normal counterpart, which is known as the dazzling slug. But most like ghouls, these electrokinesis ghouls are more stronger and even more aggressive than its normal slug version, as the AMPERLING Ghoul can dominating the dazzling slug in one-on-one combat. Number 10. The Fire Elemental Ghoul. The Fire Elemental Ghoul are the ghoul version of the legendary Fire Elemental Slug, and this ancient fire ghoul also possess the strongest pyrokinesis superpowers, either in both of its slugs or ghoul forms, as this fire elemental ghoul can unleash super heat flames that can be used to blast its target immediately with an overpowering wave of fire. And when the fire elemental ghoul transforms into its Velocimo state, this fire ghoul will resemble a dark dragon-like creature with a flaming body. But the most important thing, if the fire elemental slug have been turned into a ghoul, all of fire slugs in Slugterra will also automatically turn into ghouls, because the fire elemental slug are the ancestor of all fire element slugs. Number 11. The ATTACKNET Ghoul. The ATTACKNET Ghoul was the arachnet slug before it turned into a ghoul, and this web slinger ghoul very suitable when it comes to a combat because they can shoot a web net that can be used to disable the opposing slug on their tracks immediately. Even they're able to immobilize a person by wrapping them up using their web, while the ATTACKNET Ghoul also can create a huge net in an instant, then shoot it onto something to make a gigantic wall of web, which very useful for protection and to blocking an entrance path. But on top of that, the ATTACKNET Ghouls are capable to be a grappling hook since they can cling on wall tightly like a spider and shoot a string of web for their ghoul slinger to holding on or to swinging onto a safe point in case they want to escape from any dangerous situations. Number 12. The AQUAFREAK Ghoul. The AQUAFREAK Ghoul possesses the hydrokinesis superpower similar to its counterpart, aka the Aquabig Slug, except that the AQUAFREAK Ghoul are more stronger between both versions, as it can take down a high-power fusion shot so easily without using any tricks. And according to the informations that I found, the AQUAFREAK Ghoul become an overpowered creature, especially when fighting underwater, because they can squeeze black stinging ink at opponent face, while they also can shooting a massive optic dark resonator from their mouth that can be used against multiple opponents at once. Even the AQUAFREAK Ghoul able to destroying a large underwater object only in a single attack. Sorry guys for only using normal Aquabig Slugs videos in this part because I have limited resources, but at least now all of you already know the informations about the AQUAFREAK Ghoul. Number 13. The HOVERBLADE Ghoul. The HOVERBLADE Ghoul are mostly known for their flying ability, since only them that able to fly even though in their protoform state. Plus, the HOVERBLADE Ghoul can fly at high speeds, which made them difficult to get caught thanks to their incredible agility. And when they transform into their Velocimorph state, the HOVERBLADE Ghoul are twice the size of its normal counterpart, which is known as the Hoverbug Slug. Even these flying ghoul are more stronger and a lot faster, as it able to fly fast while easily carrying a huge person on its back. And in the meantime, the HOVERBLADE Ghoul also can dodging any attacks in the mid-air, just like a super aerial transportation. Meanwhile, there are still more things of what the HOVERBLADE Ghoul can do, but they are rarely been seen, so this is all just for now, and I hope in the future we may be able to witness the HOVERBLADE Ghoul in another actions. Number 14. The HARMASHELT Ghoul. The HARMASHELT Ghoul are the best artillery to use in combat, since they having highly defensive armor, full with razor-sharp spikes all over their body, especially after they transform, which made them a lot tougher. Even they're able to sustaining attacks from the opponents like a shield. But on top of that, the HARMASHELT Ghouls also can use their invulnerable armor and hardened claw to deliver devastating attacks during close combat situations, such as to break through walls or to destroying obstacles, and of course to attack the enemies, where these cannonball ghoul just slamming themselves powerfully onto their targets, leading to a small explosion upon impact that can causing additional damage on anything they hits, while the HARMASHELT slug are the original form of the HARMASHELT ghoul. Number 15. The Air Elemental Ghoul. The Air Elemental Ghoul are the ghoul version of the legendary Air Elemental Slug, and this ancient wind ghoul possess the strongest aerokinesis superpowers that allow it to create powerful wind attacks. Even the Air Elemental Ghoul also gain a new additional ability due to the dark energy's corruption, allowing it capable of creating a black hole with a longer lasting effect, as it shot at the ground, then forming a rampaging vortex that can causing anyone or anything nearby get sucked into a huge twister, and then they could possibly disappear into the deep caverns. But the most importantly, if the Air Elemental Slug have been turned into a ghoul, all of air slugs in Slugterra will also automatically turn into ghouls, because the Air Elemental Slug are the ancestor of all air element slugs. Number 16. The NEUROTOX Ghoul. The NEUROTOX Ghoul are the extremely rare ghoul slugs, and they're mostly known for their toxic kinesis, which is an ability that allows this poison ghoul to immobilize opponents in an instant by emitting a toxic poison cloud attack that can turn people who breathe it into stone in long period of times. But the most dangerous thing about the NEUROTOX Ghoul is that if too many of them get fired at the same time, they will create an uncontrollable neurotox clouds that could endanger the whole cavern, because this toxic poison gas keep growing and growing due to the longer lasting effect, and eventually causing all living beings at the area get corrupted into a ghoul-like creatures, while the NEUROTOX slug are the original version of the NEUROTOX ghoul. Number 17. The SMUGGLET Ghoul. The SMUGGLET Ghoul, also known as a trickster ghoul, are one of rare ghoul species that possess the superpower of hallucinokinesis, which is a psychic ability that allows them to create realistic holographic illusions that effectively to hallucinating an opponent by tricks their mind into seeing something that not actually exists in reality. But moreover, this trickster ghoul capable of disguise itself into a person or a normal slug, where it perfectly mimics that slug or person behaviors. Even they also can disguise their master into someone else, like the shapeshifter creatures that's so unpredictable, especially when it used in undercover missions. But on top of that, the SMUGGLET Ghoul able to create taunting doppelganger holograms of its ghoul slinger, which can be used to confuse and scare the opponent as well, while the Taglet Slug are the original form of the SMUGGLET Ghoul. Number 18. The VAMPARO Ghoul. The VAMPARO Ghoul are the very dangerous ghoul slugs, especially for the Slugterra existence, because these ghouls have opposite abilities of their normal counterpart that known as the Fandango Slug, which giving life energy to people, slugs, and caverns. But the VAMPARO Ghoul are completely opposite to any of that, because all of they do is bringing disaster to all living beings at Slugterra, as they can drain the ambient slug energy in an area that can causing imbalance or chaos of the whole caverns. Even they also able to draining people life essence until they turns into an evil version of themselves, while these effects will give the people a zombie-like appearance who willing to do anything for their master. And if a VAMPARO Ghoul have been revoked by someone with the dark magic, it can be used to transfer the other person's evil consciousness into another non-living things in order to bring them into life, as it displayed in the show. Number 19. The DISASTIPED Ghoul. The DISASTIPED Ghoul have similar abilities to their normal counterpart, aka the BLASTIPED Slug, but these remote detonation ghoul are more dangerous and powerful than its normal slug version, although they only has one attack skill, which is known as Mind Blaster move, where the DISASTIPED Ghoul will gain a lot of spiky bombs once they transform into their Velocimorph state, while they also can throwing their bombs at will. Even this remote detonation ghoul capable of attacking multiple opponents by deploying all of the explosive payloads from its back into all directions, so the DISASTIPED Ghoul can detonate all of its bombs at the same time to take down several slugs or opponents with its powerful explosions at once. And for your information, these bombs immediately explode when in contact with anything. Number 20. The Earth Elemental Ghoul. The Earth Elemental Ghoul are the ghoul version of the legendary Earth Elemental Slug, and this ancient Earth Ghoul possess the most powerful geokinesis superpowers, as it can hardening anything in an instant by shooting a highly concentrated beam of dirt from its mouth, while the Earth Elemental Ghoul's physical strength and defense are also enhanced due to the dark energy's corruption, making it more invulnerable. Even it can easily dominating any normal slugs in battle. But the most importantly, if the Earth Elemental Slug have been turned into a ghoul, all of Earth's slugs in Slugterra will also automatically turn into ghouls, because the Earth Elemental Slug are the ancestor of all Earth Element Slug. I would like to apologize again for only using normal Earth Elemental Slugs videos in this part, because this ghoul is not yet to be seen in its Velocimorph state, but at least now all of you already know the informations about the Earth Elemental Ghoul. Number 21. The Hopjack Ghoul. The Hopjack Ghoul, also known as the Exploder Ghoul, are commonly used among of all ghoul slingers due to their commonness and destructive force. Since they possess the phregokinesis ability that allow the Hopjack Ghouls to create medium-sized explosion upon impact with anything, similar to its counterpart, which is the HOVERBLADE slug. While on top of that, the Hopjack Ghouls are perfect ammunition to use for offensive especially when it comes to battling, because this exploded ghoul can dealing serious damage if an opponent got a direct hit by their explosive attacks. Even they're able to knock out multiple targets at once. And every ghoul slingers also can use the object ghoul for another purposes outside of battle, such as to destroying obstacles, where the more object ghouls they fire, the more destruction they can create. Number 22. The TERRARIX Ghoul. The TERRARIX Ghoul was the Digger slug before it turned into a ghoul, and this Digger ghoul can moving fast enough beneath the earth to do a sneak attack, especially when they're using the tunnel freaks move, where the TERRARIX ghoul must hit the ground while uses its hands to creating or digging an underground tunnel right toward where exactly the opponent are, and then the TERRARIX ghoul suddenly sneak up onto the surface to ambush them with a powerful surprise attack. By the way, there are still more things of what the TERRARIX ghouls can do, but there are rarely appears in the show, so this is all just for now, and I hope maybe next time we might be able to see the TERRARIX ghouls in another actions. Number 23. The Dark Urchin Ghoul. The Dark Urchin Ghoul are mostly known for their ability to shoot spike, similar to its counterpart, aka the Dirt Urchin Slug, but one thing for sure is that the Dark Urchin Ghoul are more stronger between both versions, as it can easily shattering the ice attack from a frost-crawler slug by forcefully firing its spikes through it, and on top of that, the Dark Urchin Ghoul are able to shoot much longer and larger razor-sharp needles like a porcupine, which prove how powerful they are compared to their normal counterpart. Even the Dark Urchin Ghoul also capable of attacking multiple opponents or slugs at the same time by exploding themselves in the mid-air to firing multiple rounds of spinning razor-sharp spikes in all directions that very effective to dominating a lot of targets at once, especially in a narrow area. Number 24. The NEGABLADE Ghoul. The NEGABLADE Ghoul, also known as the Shadow Ghoul, possess the superpower of Umbra Kinesis, which is an ability that allows them to manipulate darkness at their will, which could be used with devastating efficiency against both people or slugs, and the NEGABLADE ghoul are significantly stronger than its normal counterpart, aka the NEGASHAD slug, due to the dark energy's corruption, making this shadow ghoul able to dominating multiple slugs alone in close combat for a long period of time. Even they can deliver serious damage to any opponents upon impact, because the NEGABLADE ghoul will release a powerful dark cloud with longer lasting effect that can be used to immobilize them in pain, while also causing the opponents exposed widely to another attacks from its ghoul slinger. Number 25. The Water Elemental Ghoul. The Water Elemental Ghoul are the ghoul version of the legendary Water Elemental Slug, and this ancient water ghoul possess the most powerful hydrokinesis superpowers, either in its slug or ghoul forms, as it can produce an unlimited amount of waters from its mouth that can be used to crashing down on its targets. But the most importantly, if the water elemental slug have been turned into a ghoul, all of water slugs in Slugterra will also automatically turn into ghouls, because the water elemental slug are the ancestor of all water element slugs. I would like to apologize again, because I only can using normal water elemental slugs videos in this part due to the limited resources, but at least now all of you already know the informations about the water elemental ghoul. Number 26. The GRENEATER Ghoul. The GRENEATER Ghoul is a destructive ghoul with the strongest explosion superpower due to the dark energy's corruption, allowing this grenade ghoul capable of creating powerful explosion out of its body that can be used to destroy anything instantly. And when the GRENEATER ghouls transform into their Velosimorph state, they will cover by the dark purple armor all over their body, along with gaining a lot of larger spikes facing forward, which very useful for these grenade ghouls to sticking themselves tightly on almost any surface before they explode after their timer was over, exactly like a grenade. But on top of that, they also can explode immediately when in contact with anything, because their armor are act like a trip mines where it activate and go kaboom, even only with a slightly touch, while the original form of the GRENEATER ghoul is called the GRENOOK slug. Number 27. The BUBBALASH Ghoul. The BUBBALASH Ghoul are the ghoul version of the Babylon slug, and both of them have similar abilities as they're able to swallow an opponent, then seal them tight inside their large indestructible bubble body for a long period of times. Plus, the Bubbalash ghoul can use their bubble-like body to slamming a person through a wall, which prove how strong their body are, even though it seems transparent. But on top of that, these bubble ghouls capable of inflating themselves like a puffer fish, making them increase in size drastically, while it can be used by them to painfully rebound incoming slugs. And furthermore, the Bubbalash ghoul also can floating in the mid-air after they inflate themselves with air, which very useful for any ghoul slingers to use as an aerial transportation, just like a hot air balloon. Number 28. The QUICKSALVO ghoul. The QUICKSALVO ghoul have the magnetokinesis ability similar to their normal counterpart, which is known as the Sleek Silver Slug. And this magnet ghoul can create a powerful magnetic field that can attract all of metal objects to them, including opponents' weapons. Plus, the QUICKSALVO ghoul also very perfect when it used by a slugful master, as it displayed in the show, where Lady Daifu used a QUICKSALVO ghoul combined along with her dark slugful technique. She was successfully retrieved the Emperor's sword blaster from Pronto, that leaving him weaponless while they're in the middle of a combat. By the way, there are still more things of what the QUICKSALVO ghoul can do, but they are rarely been seen, so this is all just for now, and I hope maybe next time we might be able to witness the QUICKSALVO ghoul in another actions. Number 29. The PHOTOMO ghoul. The PHOTOMO ghoul possess the superpower of luminokinesis similar to its normal counterpart, aka the phosphorus slug, except that the PHOTOMO ghoul having the dark luminokinetic abilities, and they are totally more stronger between both versions, as this light ghoul capable of emitting dark light with a longer lasting effect that can act as a repellent to slugs or any other creatures that's sensitive to light. Even the mighty creature like the Shadow Clan are afraid of the PHOTOMO's dark light, causing them run like a coward. And moreover, they not just can produce blinding flash of light to stun anyone, but the PHOTOMO ghoul also can dealing serious damage, especially on a person who very vulnerable, where this light ghoul creating an explosive burst of light by focusing all of their attacks in a single point that can giving painfully stinging sensation as well as burning the target like a sunburn. Number 30. The CRYPTOGRIF Ghoul. The CRYPTOGRIF Ghoul are the ultra-rare Ghoul Slugs with mind control powers that allow this trans ghoul to zombify anyone who got hit by them, causing the opponents to enter zombie-like state where they obey every orders from the ghoul slinger who shot them with this ghoul like the mindless zombies because their mind was completely under control. And the most interesting is that the CRYPTOGRIF Ghoul did not have to transform because this psychokinesis ghoul still can unleash its mind control powers even in its protoform state. But on top of that, this trans ghoul also able to turn all the people at a whole caverns into mindless zombies at once without making direct contact, as the CRYPTOGRIF Ghoul can unleash zombify shockwave that can be used by its master to blindly taking control of other people's mind in order to turning them into their zombie minions. While the original form of the CRYPTOGRIF Ghoul is called the Hypnogryph Slug. Number 31. The JOLLYFIST Ghoul. The JOLLYFIST Ghoul are one of the most unique ghouls since they can be used as a tracker, where the JOLLYFIST Ghoul spits a special goo onto its target, and this goo is not dangerous even though it seems to cover an opponent's body entirely because it just acts as a tracking device. But the target are completely unaware about the fact that they've been under someone's surveillance, making them easy to track down. And the JOLLYFIST Ghoul can seal something for a long period of times by spit a certain goo that can quickly hardens into a dark resin, while they also can spit a gross sticky goo that can be used to stopping any slugs on their tracks instantly. And if a person got hit by this goo, they will getting a hard time to remove it cause the JOLLYFIST goo are very sticky that nearly impossible to remove, similar to its normal counterpart which is known as the jelly slug. Number 32. The GEOSHARD Ghoul. The GEOSHARD Ghoul are the only one ghoul that still has the same name as its counterpart. Maybe it not officially been named yet, But the most importantly, these crystallizer ghouls are very dangerous because they're capable of attacking through crystallization, similar to its normal slug version. As the GEOSHARD ghoul can crystallize an opponent's body immediately, even it can crystallize their internal organs as well. If the opponent got hits at a wrong spot, which leading to a serious bodily harm. And these crystallizer ghoul are perfect to be used in defensive, cause it can create a nearly impervious crystal dome in an instant, that very useful for protection. While this crystal dome also can be used by the GEOSHARD ghoul for another purposes, such as to imprisoning their opponents. Number 33. The FLATULO Rex Ghoul. The FLATULO Rex Ghoul was a normal FLATULO wrinkle slug before it turned into a ghoul. And these stinker ghouls are more powerful than their counterpart, as they're capable of releasing stinkier toxic gases in very large quantities that can causing the opponents or slugs pass out from the horrible sting. And if a slinger fire a FLATULO Rex ghoul at the point blank, they will also be affected by the stench because their toxic sting gases are quickly spreading out during impact with anything. While according to the information that I found, whoever person that got hit by the FLATULO Rex ghoul will be smelly for a week due to the longer lasting effect. But sadly, the FLATULO Rex ghouls are yet to be seen in their Velocimo state, and I'm really sorry for only using normal FLATULO wrinkle slugs videos in this part, but I hope you guys already know what's the FLATULO Rex ghoul capable of. Number 34. The TRANSPLITTER Ghoul. The TRANSPLITTER Ghoul, also known as the Jammer Ghoul, or possess the superpower of dark electromagnetic pulse, which is an ability that allow it to generate darkly powerful electromagnetic blasts from its body that can be used to scramble all the electronic devices in the blast radius for a long period of times. And no one can escape from this EMP shockwave as long as the opponents still on this Jammer Ghoul strike zone, cause the range of its electromagnetic pulse are very large. But back in the show, a TRANSPLITTER Ghoul only appears once for a few seconds without even had a time to showing its capability, so all of us don't have a chance to see the TRANSPLITTER Ghoul in action. And for your additional information, the original version of the TRANSPLITTER Ghoul is called the X-Meter Slug. Number 35. The ENIGBLIND Ghoul. The ENIGBLIND Ghoul is one of the Ghoul version that yet to be seen in Slugterra TV series, so I have no clue about their Ghoul appearance or capabilities. But the ENIGBLIND Ghouls might have similar superpowers as their normal counterpart, aka the Enigmo Slugs, that can giving permanent blurry double vision on whoever they hit, causing the target unable to see clearly. And the ENIGBLIND Ghouls maybe can giving more powerful effects than just blurry vision due to the dark energy's corruption, where it probably allowing the ENIGBLIND Ghoul to giving its target a permanent blind effect as their name imply. Other than that, every ghoul slingers who have an ENIGBLIND Ghoul in their arsenal possibly can perform fusion shots, since it can allowing them to see all the auras of the ghouls, where they definitely able to create powerful combination attack of two different ghouls as long as they have a fusion blaster to launches and synchronize both of them simultaneously, like what Eli Shen always did. Anyways, all of these are just my consumptions because I have limited resources. Even I never seen the ENIGBLIND Ghoul in the show, and I wish I could tell you more about this ghoul, but this is all I got. Number 36. The Ghost Melter Ghoul. The Ghost Melter Ghouls are mostly known for their hot molten metal abilities, since this forged ghoul can deal critical damage to any opponents, because they can create a small eruption of hot molten metal upon impact that can causing the opponents receive multiple damage at once, where they get heavy knockout on the slamming impact, as well as getting burn injuries from the superheat molten metal eruption. And the Ghost Melter Ghoul also can spit a stream of hot molten metal that can be used to attacking an opponent from a long distance. Even it can melt any metals instantly, similar ability to its counterpart, which is known as the Forge Melter Slug. But sadly, we don't have a chance to see the Ghost Melter Ghouls in action, cause they are never been seen in the show, so that's why I only using the Forge Melter Slugs videos just for references of what the Ghost Melter Ghoul probably can do. Number 37. The Cryscata Ghoul. The Cryscata Ghoul has similar abilities to its normal counterpart, which is known as the Crystallite Slug, except that the Chris Cutter Ghoul are more stronger between both versions, as this tunneler ghoul capable of drilling through almost anything using its powerful drill weapons that it gains when accessing its Velosimov stat. And on top of that, the Chris Cutter Ghoul also can quickly tunneling beneath the earth in order to create a sinkhole that can be used to trap multiple opponents at once. Even these tunneler ghouls can just slam themselves onto an opponent with their drill weapons spinning at high speeds to adding more damage. But unfortunately, the Chris Cutter ghouls are yet to be seen in their Velosimov stat, so I only able to use normal Crystallite Slugs videos in this part just for examples of what the Chris Cutter Ghoul probably can do. Number 38. The Pyringo Ghoul. The Pyringo Ghoul are the ghoul version of the Flaringo Slug, and this fire ghoul also one of ghoul type in the show that yet to be seen either in their protoform or Velosimov stat. But for your informations, the Pyringo ghouls are possess the superpower of pyrokinesis, which is an ability that allows them to generate fire out of their body, and the Pyringo's flames are more stronger than their counterpart. Even they can dealing serious damage to a person or slug, as the Pyringo ghouls able to surrounding themselves with super hot flames, leading them into a blazing state, which can burn any targets, along with causing small explosion, especially upon impact. Number 39. The Blast Stinger Ghoul. The Blast Stinger Ghoul are the ghoul version of the Speed Stinger Slug, and this ricochet ghoul capable of bouncing on almost any surface, similar to its counterpart. But one thing for sure is that the Blast Stinger Ghoul are definitely more stronger, as it can ricochet toward an opponent with blinding high speeds that difficult to foresee, which allow it to dealing immense damage when in contact, because the target is not even ready to react, as it happened in a flash. And I would like to apologize again for not using the real Blast Stinger Ghouls videos, because the ghoul version of the Speed Stinger Slug are not yet to be seen in the show. According to another informations that I found, there is one more ghoul name of the Speed Stinger Slug, which is called the Doom Spiker Ghoul, and I don't really know which one is an official name, but you can call it whatever you want. either it's Blastinger or Doom Spiker, cause both of the names are pretty cool for this incredible ricochet ghoul. Number 40. The Syringe Ghoul. The Syringe Ghoul is an official name for a ghoul version of the Siren Slug, and this sonic ghoul is one of ghoul type that not yet to be seen in Slugterra TV show. Even I cannot find its ghoul picture anywhere, but the Syringe Ghoul might have similar abilities to its counterpart, maybe more stronger due to the dark energy's corruption, where it probably allowing this sonic ghoul able to create strange thrilling sound wave from their mouth that can causing anyone to sleep immediately, or they perhaps can put the opponents into a temporary coma because it's not impossible for the ghouls to gaining new additional abilities. And the Syringe Ghoul also possibly can create a powerfully hypersonic ear-splitting scream that leading to a longer-lasting deafness, while it can be used by them to attack a lot of opponents or slugs at once, just like a Piper Slug. Number 41. The Vexlet Ghoul. The Vexlet Ghoul are the harbinger of bad luck because they can giving string of bad luck in an opponent, such as a terrible clumsiness that will end up with hurting themselves while they're in a combat. And in my opinion, these bad luck ghouls are suitable to be as a ghoul due to the superpower that they possess, which made them seem naturally born ghoul. But unfortunately, the Vexlet ghouls are yet to be seen either in both of their protoform or Velosimorph state. Even their normal counterpart, which is known as the Hexlet Slug, are also never been used by anyone in the show. Number 42. The Lava Mender Ghoul. The Lava Mender Ghoul are incredibly dangerous ghoul in Slugterra since they has the power of volcano, aka the geothermal kinesis, which is an ability that allows the Lava Mender Ghoul to attack using hot molten lava, where they can create miniature volcanic eruption of lava upon impact to surrounding the opponent in molten lava that does damage over time. Even these lava ghouls also able to spit lava projectile that can be used to attack any targets at a distance. And the most importantly, the Lava Mender Ghoul are definitely more powerful than its counterpart, or they maybe can manifesting new abilities due to the dark energy's corruption. But sadly, We don't have a chance to witness the lava mender ghouls in action because they are not yet to be seen in the show, while the original form of the lava mender ghoul is called the lavaling slug. Number 43. The Scariot Ghoul. The Scariot Ghoul is an official name for the ghoul version of the Lariat Slug, and the Scariot Ghoul is one of the ghouls that not yet to be seen in Slugterra TV series, so I have no clue about their abilities. Even I cannot find any photos of them, but the Scariot Ghoul might has a little stronger abilities than its counterpart, where they probably can spit a very sticky and gross loogie at an opponent that difficult to be removed due to the longer lasting effect along with horrible smell, or they possibly can create a net of sticky loogie that can be used to wrap up multiple opponents at once, because it's not impossible for the ghouls to manifesting new abilities. But most importantly, the Scariot Ghoul are very useful to be used as a grappling hooks, since they can cling on wall, while spits a loogie of slimy rope for their ghoul slinger to holding on and to swinging around in order to escape from any dangerous situations. Number 44. The Mega Breaker Ghoul. The Mega Breaker Ghoul, otherwise known as the Shark Ghoul, since it has a lot of similarities to a shark, and the normal counterpart of the Mega Breaker Ghoul is called the Mako Breaker Slug. By the way, Mega Breaker Ghouls are not yet to be seen in the show. Even their counterpart, the Mako Breaker Slug, only appear once, so I have no clue what they're capable of. But one thing for sure is that the Mega Breaker Ghoul are more stronger than its normal slug version, and it also probably could gain additional abilities due to the dark energy's corruption. Sorry guys, I wish I could tell you more about these shark ghouls, but at least now you know their ghoul name and what they looks like. Number 45. The Barreto Ghoul. The Barreto Ghoul possess similar abilities to its counterpart, aka the Polero Slug, where they can split into a two-headed creature during their Velosimorph state that join by a rope in the middle of the heads, allowing the Barreto Ghoul to do a spinning tripline move, which can be used to trips and ties up an opponent. while this two-headed bolo ghoul also able to hit two targets in one shot by using their dual heads simultaneously to hitting the two of them at once. And according to the informations that I found, the Barreto Ghoul can biting two different opponents or slugs at the same time using their razor-sharp teeth on either end in order to adding more damage when they're in contact with the targets. But unfortunately, the Barreto ghouls barely appears while in the show, so that's why I only using the normal Polero Slugs videos in this part, just for references of what's the Barreto ghouls capable of. Number 46. The Sand Mangler Ghoul. The Sand Mangler Ghoul are really stronger than its normal slug version if it consistent with the informations that I found, where this sand ghoul can create a pool of quicksand filled with grinding rocks under an opponent, which could be causing a big problem for them because they will get sucked in as well as got immobilized completely, while the grinding rocks keep on slicing them over time due to the longer lasting effect. And the more the opponent struggling, the more deeper they're getting sucked into this horrifying quicksand. Other than that, the Sand Mangler Ghoul also can create a hot spray of darkly sand from its mouth that can be used to stinging opponents' eyes. Even they can use their semokinetic ability to immobilize multiple opponents by covering all of them at once with a massive amount of sands, while the normal counterpart of the Sand Mangler Ghoul is called the Sand Angler Slug, but sadly, we don't have a chance to see the Sand Mangler Ghoul in action because they are not yet to be seen in the show. Number 47. The Spazer Ghoul. The Spazer Ghoul are one of Ghoul Slugs that never been seen in the show, but they might have a stronger abilities than their counterpart, which is known as the Geyser Slug, where the Spazer Ghoul probably able to release a powerful laughing gas in a large scale that can make any opponents who breathe it laughing at something that's not supposed to be hilarious, even causing the target misfiring their slug onto their own allies because they think it will be funny. And moreover, the Spazer Ghoul also possibly can unleash a more stronger laughing gas with a longer lasting effect, which can forcing the opponents to laughing uncontrollably in a long period of times, or maybe until they pass out. Because all of these are not impossible to be happening, as the ghouls could gain new additional abilities due to the dark energy's corruption. Alright everyone, as you can see, that is all the 47 versions of the Ghoul Slugs currently in Slugterra according to the information that I found. I want to apologize to all of you if I'm making a mistake or forget something important in this video, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much. Okay guys, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned.